All right, so I wanted to make a quick addendum to the Chronicles and add this particular video log. And I want to entitle it On My Way to Heaven. And I think it's important to really understand why I say that, because it is actually understood in Hebraic, or particularly Israelite ideology of ancient, more expressly, not so much today. It's not widely known or understood even so today, prophetically speaking. But the land of Israel is understood as the epicenter of heaven on earth. It is the geographic location, undeniably. And I'm going to read a couple of scriptures to you that you can go and research for yourself, that identifies Israel, and even more expressly Yerushalayim, or Jerusalem, as heaven on earth. And this is because when we understand the location of the temple being placed in Jerusalem, and the name of the Most High being established there in perpetuity on earth, that signifies the location of the throne of the Most High on earth, which it should be reflective of the order that is also established in heaven. And so I'm going to read a couple of passages and get you all to really get to see this principle in light of that which I speak. So I'm going to start out with Debrei Chayamim, or the book of days, the book of Chronicles. Interesting, right? Chronicles. This is the Chronicles of Israel that I'm logging here, but I want to also give you all this understanding as well from the book of Chronicles, Debrei Chayamim. So I'm going to start out with the first book of Chronicles, and I'm going to read the 28th chapter, and I'm going to read the 1st through the 7th verse, and then I'm going to read a couple of more passages from the same chapter, well, not the same chapter, the same book, next chapter. But this is what it reads as follows. And David assembled at Jerusalem all the rulers of Israel, the rulers of the tribes and the commanders of the divisions who serve the sovereign, the commanders over thousands and commanders over hundreds, and the heads over all the property and possessions of the sovereign and of his sons, with the officials, the mighty men, and all the mighty brave men. The sovereign David rose to his feet and said, "Hear me, my brothers and my people. I had it in my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the covenant of Yah." Now, first of all, when you understand that particular vessel, the ark of the covenant, the Kaporet, or the lid of propitiation, is understood to be the throne of Yah. Okay, the ark contains the tablets, it contains manna, and it also contains the rod of Aaron, which budded, and there's also some scrolls that are in the side of it. But most significantly, between the cherubim, between the two messengers, you have what is known as the throne of Yah. Okay, so he mentions the Ark of the Covenant. He said again, "I had it in my heart to build a house of rest for the Ark of the Covenant of Yah, and for the footstool of our Elohim, and had made preparations to build it. But Elohim said to me, you do not build a house for my name." So again, the house is for his name to be enshrined there, because you have been a man of battle and have shed blood. Yet Yah Elohe Israel chose me above all the house of my father to be sovereign over Israel forever. For he has chosen Yehudah to be the ruler. Okay, so the tribe of Judah shall be the tribe which is known as the ruler of Yah's kingdom on earth. So that again is another signification of this heavenly delegation of authority from Yah's realm, which is called the Ein Sof, or the Ein Sof, the absolute nothing realm of transcendence, to the realm of Asaya, which is the realm of creation or formation. Creation more so, or manifestation, slikah, or excuse me. So, continuing on, I'm going to read 4 again. Yet Yah Elohei Israel chose me to be above all the house of my father, to be sovereign over Israel forever. For he has chosen Yehuda, or Judah, to be the ruler. And of the house of Yehuda, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he was pleased with me to make me reign over all of Israel. And of all my sons, for Yah has given me many sons, he has chosen my son Shlomo, or Solomon, to sit on the throne of the reign of Yah over Israel. So what Yah has done is given Yehuda this throne to sit upon, of which David was the first of the lineage of Yehuda to sit upon, because prior to that you had a Benjaminite, or a Benjamini, who was Shaul, who sat on the throne. Okay, Shaul was from the tribe of Benjamin, and he was the first king of Israel. However, the rulership was truly established through Melech David, or King David. And again, David just said that he has chosen Shlomo, or Solomon, to sit on the throne of the reign of Yah over Israel. So that again gives you the understanding that this throne in Jerusalem is to be the location of Yah's rulership on earth. So this again gives you the vantage point of understanding that that is heaven on earth. Continuing. And he said to me, Shlomo, your son, is the one to build my house and my courtyards, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I myself am a father to him. And I shall establish his reign forever, if he is strong to do my commands and my right rulings, as it is this day, Selah. So that is one passage I wanted to read in light of this particular principle of heaven on earth. The next passage is this next chapter, 29. I'm going to read verses 10 through 12, and I'm going to skip over to 23. And 23 is really going to solidify it, to understand what this principle about heaven on earth is here. So David blessed Yahuwah, Baruch Hashem, before all the assembly, and David said, Blessed are you, O Yah, Elohei Israel, our Father forever and ever. Yours, O Yah, is the greatness, the power, and the comeliness, the preeminence, and the excellency, because of all that is in the heavens and in the earth. Yours is the reign, O Yah, and you are exalted as head above all. And the riches and the esteem come from your presence, and you rule over all. And in your hand is power and might, and in your hand to make great and to give strength to all. So this delegation again that Yah has given to Yehuda is prescribed as a result of his choosing, particularly Israel, his people, and Yehuda, his scepter, to rule over his people in perpetuity upon the throne of David, or the throne of David, of which Shlomo sat, even of which Melech Mashiach ben David, so that is the King Messiah, son of David, who will actually be the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Now verse 23 says this, and Shlomo sat on the throne of Yah. This is chapter 29, 1 Chronicles, verse 23. It says Shlomo sat on the throne of Yah as sovereign instead of David, his father, and prospered. And all of Israel obeyed him. So again, when we see this king seated upon this throne, it is understood that it is not their throne that they're sitting on. They are the earthly representative of the kingdom of heaven, or the king of heaven on earth. And the kingdom is therefore administered through these earthly vessels, through the tribe of Judah. So this is the principle that we can see there. Now I want to go and read from the book of Lamentations, Echa. Book of Lamentations. You have to excuse me as I flip through these pages, but I want to look at the second chapter and the first verse particularly. And just keep this in mind, because when Israel is in obedience, when they are to ascend to the land 3 times out of the year during the festivals of Matzot, or Pesach Matzot, which is Passover and unleavened bread, Shavuot, which is the festival of weeks, or what is known as Pentecost, and during Chag Sukkot, or the Feast of Tabernacles, or the Feast of Booths. These 3 festivals do not allow the Gentile nations to covet their land, because those appearances that are made before the Most High are what Yah desires as a offering of ourselves before Him to demonstrate our faithfulness to the covenant, which also does include Shabbat observance as well. But I'm just going to read the first verse of Lamentations chapter 2, which gives you an even more clearer understanding of why this is heaven on earth. It says this: how Yah in His displeasure has covered the daughter of Sion, or the daughter of Zion, with a cloud. So this is again is understood as the people of Israel, the daughter of Zion. This is particularly the locale of those who are in Jerusalem, observing, supposed to be observing the Torah. Okay, here's the key passage: He has cast down from the heavens to the earth the comeliness of Israel, and has not remembered His footstool in the day of His displeasure. You can remember that David was told that his progeny will establish Yah's throne and His footstool in Jerusalem, where He placed His name. But now, in Echad, the book of Lamentations, which the prophet Jeremiah wrote, weeping for the exile that was coming upon Israel from the Babylonians, they were being casted out. And that casting out or casting down is what lets you know that they fell from heaven to the earth, which is the captivity or the diaspora or the exile. Wherever they are outside of Israel, and more expressly the kingdom of Judea, and even more expressly the location of Jerusalem, they have fallen to the earth and have not been in heaven. They have come out of heaven. Okay, now let's see what this also speaks about. I'm going to read about 3 more passages. I want to go to the book of Ezra right now and see how the travel to Jerusalem is described. I'm going to read a passage from the book of Ezra. I'm going to go to the book of Matthew, and then I'm going to go to the book of Hebrews, and we're going to see what this is all about. Okay, so I'm going to start in the first chapter of the book of Ezra, who was actually the first wave of the Geulah, or the redemption, or those who came out of exile, the Babylonian exile, and returned to the land in order to rebuild the temple. Okay, so this is what it says here. I'm going to read verses 1 through, 1 through 3. I'm just going to read 1 through 3. And in the first year of Koresh, this is now the Persian rule, the second beast. Okay, Babylon was the first beast, Persia was the second beast. Okay, the Media Persia or the second beast of silver, Babylon being that of gold. So in the first year of Koresh, sovereign of Persia, that the word of Yah by the mouth of Yirmiah might be accomplished, Yah stirred up the spirit of Koresh, sovereign of Persia, to proclaim throughout all his reign, and also in writing, saying, Thus said Koresh, sovereign of Persia, Yah Elohe of the heavens has given me all the reins of the earth, and He has commanded me to build Him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Yehuda. So this is a reestablishing of the temple after it got destroyed. It was destroyed during the Babylonian siege under Nebuchadnezzar. But now it is the restoration not only of the land and the temple, but the people. So we're seeing now a wave of people coming. So verse 3, who is among you of all His people? His Elohim be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, to go up, to ascend to what is called make aliyah, which is to go up, to ascend, because it is not only a physical ascent to Jerusalem, it is a 1,200 feet elevation above sea level that you will go up to. And when you travel up to it, I guarantee you, your ears will pop. The first time I went, my ears were popping. I had to, do all that, the yawning and stuff, to make sure that my ears weren't popping, because it is on a mountain. There's 7 mountains, as a matter of fact, or 7 hills that they call them, upon which Jerusalem sits. But again, who was among you of all his people? Verse 3, his Elohim be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Yehuda, and build the house of Yah, Elohe, Israel. He is Elohim, which is in Jerusalem. So again, to go up. Now we can even see this principle spoken of in the book of Matthew. And I'm going to go to the 20th chapter. And I'm going to read from there. I'm going to start at verse 11, chapter 20, Matthew, verse 11. And I'm going to go to verse 19. It says this, and when they received it, they grumbled against the householder, saying, these last have worked only 1 hour, and you made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the heat of the day. So this is a parable, the end of a parable that he's speaking about, sending laborers out into the field at different times of the day, and they are receiving the same compensation. Verse 13, but he answering said to one of them, friend, I do you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take yours and go, but I wish to give to this last man as also to you. Is it not right for me to do what I wish with my own? Or is your eye evil because I am good? Thus the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. For many are called, but few are chosen. And Yehoshua, going up to Jerusalem, or up to Jerusalem, took the 12 taught ones aside on the way, and said to them, see, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the son of Adam shall be delivered up to the chiefs and to the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death. So again, and you have to understand the idiomatic thought process of ancient Israel. So when they said to go up, Aliyah, they understood that not only was this a physical ascent, but this was also a spiritual ascent. You had to elevate your consciousness to go up to Jerusalem. And I guarantee you that the energy of the entire land, you feel it as soon as you touch down. But when you get into Jerusalem, it is even that much more electric. You know, it is a very mystical, powerful land, sacred land. But unfortunately, a lot of the people there do not understand or perceive that. And as a result, they have caused the vibration of the land to get more dense. But I guarantee you, if your elevation and your vibrations are high, you will tap into the energy that is there. And lastly, I'm gonna read from the book of Hebrews, Hebrew. And I want to read, I believe it is chapter, let's see. Is it chapter 12? Maybe 13, no, let's see. Give me 1 second as I'm looking for it. All right, let's finish this thing. It got cut off. But verse 22 is the key verse here. It says as follows. But you have drawn near to Mount Sion, Mount Zion, not Mount Sinai, but Mount Zion, and to the city of the living Elohim, to the heavenly Jerusalem. So that again expressly says that Jerusalem is heaven on earth. To myriads of messengers, to the entire gathering and assembly of the firstborn. This is where we are to be gathered and to assemble as the body, okay? Having been enrolled in heaven, in Jerusalem, and to Elohim, the judge of all, and to the spirits of righteous men made perfect. So again, anyone with the spiritual consciousness and the desire to go up to Jerusalem is actually on their way to heaven. And as I had opened up and stated, I'm on my way to heaven, and my prayers will be uplifted and close to the Most High. And I will also be placing some prayers of some my family and some friends and co-workers in heaven. So your prayers will also be made close to the Most High as well. So that's what I wanted to drop off in this addendum to the Israel Chronicles. This is Mikhail Koban signing off. One love. Shalom Aleichem.